Maybe you've seen the pictures of older people on commercials, laughing together over coffee, playing golf in the sunshine, or walking hand in hand on a beach. It looks peaceful, comfortable, like a reward for a life well lived. And parts of getting older absolutely are like that. There's often more freedom, more time for hobbies, the joy of grandchildren, a sense of accomplishment looking back. But there's another side that doesn't make it into those pictures. Something we don't often talk about, even among ourselves. It's a tougher reality. A set of challenges that can catch you off guard if you aren't prepared. We're often told to stay positive. Look on the bright side. And yes, that's important. But sometimes, in all that positivity, we miss acknowledging the genuine difficulties, the things that can make getting older feel not quite so golden. It's like there's a silent agreement not to mention these things, maybe out of fear, or maybe not wanting to sound negative. But what if facing these truths, head on and honestly, is actually the key to navigating them with more strength and even more joy? What if knowing what to expect, or at least acknowledging the possibility, makes us more resilient? In this video, we're going to look at 5 of these realities, the kind that can hit hard, that might feel uncomfortable to talk about, but are so very real as the years go by. We're not doing this to dwell on the negative. Not at all. We're doing it to shine a light, to prepare, and to find ways to move through these challenges with grace and power. It's about being real, so we can be truly ready. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you, something that might completely change how you view this next chapter. So, let's talk about the first of these realities, something that perhaps cuts the deepest, and it's about the people in our lives. As the years go by, almost inevitably, you start to experience loss on a scale you might not have prepared for. It's not just losing parents anymore, which is a profound loss in itself. Now, you're facing the loss of friends you've known for decades, siblings you shared a childhood with, maybe your spouse, your life partner. Each loss is a world unto itself, a unique pain, a gap that can feel impossible to fill. The sheer frequency can be staggering. One moment you're sharing a memory, the next, they're gone. And with each departure, a piece of your shared history, a living connection to your past, goes with them. This leads to the second part of this first truth: loneliness. It's not just about being alone physically. You might be surrounded by family or live in a busy community. Loneliness is about the lack of meaningful connection. When the people who knew you best, who shared your jokes, your stories, your triumphs and failures, are no longer here, it can leave you feeling profoundly unseen, like a book with missing chapters that only they could remember. The phone calls stop coming from those specific voices. The familiar routines shared with a loved one vanish, and the silence can be deafening. It's a harsh truth that loneliness is a significant, often unspoken, struggle for many older adults. Society celebrates independence and self-reliance, which are good things. But sometimes that narrative makes it hard to admit that you miss people, that you crave connection, that the quiet house feels less like peaceful solitude and more like an empty space. The feeling of being adrift can be powerful. Maybe your social circle was built around couples, and now you're on your own. Maybe your closest friends were colleagues, and retirement has scattered you. It takes conscious effort to build new connections when your established network begins to shrink, and it can feel daunting, even vulnerable, to put yourself out there again. How do you make new friends in your 60s, 70s, or beyond? It's different from making friends in school or through young kids' playdates. The rhythms are different. The opportunities might feel fewer. But here's where facing the truth becomes empowering. Acknowledging the potential for loneliness isn't giving into it. It's recognizing a challenge you might need to actively address. It means understanding that needing connection is a fundamental human need, not a weakness. It might mean trying things you never thought you would: joining a book club, volunteering, taking a class, attending events at a local community center or library. even exploring online communities specifically designed for shared interests among older adults. It requires courage to step outside your comfort zone when you might feel less energetic or more set in your ways. It also means cherishing the connections you do have, making an effort to call friends and family regularly, even when you don't feel particularly chatty, initiating plans instead of always waiting to be invited, reconnecting with people you've lost touch with. It's about being proactive in tending to your social garden, knowing that it requires cultivation as you age, perhaps more than ever before. And it's okay to talk about it. Finding just one trusted person you can confide in about feeling lonely can make a world of difference. There's a shared humanity in this experience, and finding someone who understands can lessen the burden. And sometimes, it's also about learning to be comfortable in your own company. This isn't a replacement for connection, but a necessary balance. Finding joy in solitary pursuits, reading, hobbies, nature, reflection, can enrich your life and make those times alone feel less like loneliness and more like peaceful solitude. It's a journey, and it's not always easy. But recognizing the truth of potential isolation is the first step toward building bridges to others and strengthening the foundation within yourself. Now, moving from the emotional and social landscape, let's talk about something else that's undeniable. Something that becomes more apparent with each passing year. And that is the reality of your changing physical self. We all know logically that bodies age, but actually living it, day in and day out, is a different experience. It's not just about a few more wrinkles or gray hairs. It's about the creaks and pops when you stand up, the stiffness in the morning, the fact that walking up a flight of stairs leaves you more breathless than it used to, the way your energy levels might not be what they once were, things that were effortless before, like carrying heavy groceries or playing actively with grandchildren for hours, might require more thought, more effort, or feel less sustainable. This truth can be harsh because it challenges our self-image and our sense of capability. You might look in the mirror and see a stranger, or feel like your body is betraying you. There can be a sense of frustration, even grief, for the younger, more resilient body you once inhabited. The truth is, your body is changing, and it will continue to change. There will likely be new aches, new limitations, and perhaps chronic conditions that become part of your life. This isn't failure. It's simply the natural progression of human biology. But accepting it, truly accepting it, can be difficult in a culture that often idolizes youth and physical prowess. You might find yourself mourning lost abilities, the ease with which you used to move, the stamina you took for granted. Maybe you had to give up a beloved sport, or find that long walks are shorter now. This is a real loss, and it's okay to acknowledge that. Pushing through pain or ignoring signals your body is sending is counterproductive. The harsh truth is, you cannot always do everything you used to do in the same way. But here's the crucial pivot: facing this truth allows you to adapt, to find new ways to engage with the world and with your own body. It means shifting your focus from trying to recapture youth to optimizing your health and well-being at the age you are now. It means listening to your body with compassion and intelligence. This might involve modifying exercises, finding new forms of movement that are gentler on your joints like swimming, yoga, or walking, or incorporating strength training to maintain muscle mass, which is incredibly important as you age. It also means being proactive about your health in partnership with healthcare professionals, attending regular checkups, managing existing conditions, and not dismissing new symptoms as just old age. While some things are indeed part of aging, many issues are treatable or manageable, significantly improving your quality of life. Beyond the physical adjustments, there's the mental and emotional work of acceptance. This involves letting go of the expectation that your body should function like a 40-year-old's when you're 70. It's about practicing gratitude for what your body can still do. Can you still take a walk in the park? Can you still hug your loved ones? Can you still enjoy a meal? Focusing on these capabilities, rather than dwelling on limitations, can shift your perspective dramatically. It's about celebrating the strength and resilience your body has shown over decades of life. Adapting also means adjusting expectations for your daily life. Maybe housework takes longer, or you need to take more breaks. This isn't laziness. It's acknowledging reality, pacing yourself, asking for help when needed, and finding adaptive tools or strategies are all smart, practical responses to physical changes. It's about being kind to yourself and recognizing that your worth and your ability to experience joy are not solely tied to your physical peak. This truth, while challenging, also brings a unique opportunity to appreciate the present moment. When you can no longer rush through everything, you might find yourself noticing more, savoring experiences more deeply. The forced slowing down can be an invitation to mindfulness and a greater appreciation for the simple things. So, while the physical changes are a definite reality of getting older, acknowledging them isn't about defeat. It's about empowering yourself to make choices that support your health, adapt your activities, and cultivate a deep sense of acceptance and gratitude for the body that has carried you through life. It's a shift from lamenting what's lost to celebrating what is possible now, and thinking about how our bodies change and how we adapt personally naturally leads into another challenging truth, one that deals with how the world outside of us often perceives and interacts with us as we age. This is the truth about ageism, and how society can sometimes make you feel invisible or irrelevant. It might not be overt discrimination. Often it's subtle, creeping into interactions in ways you might not even immediately recognize. It's the way someone might talk down to you, assuming you don't understand technology or current events. It's feeling overlooked in conversations, or having your opinions dismissed simply because of your age. You might notice it in media representation, where older adults are often portrayed in stereotypical ways, either frail and dependent or unrealistically vibrant and wealthy, rarely reflecting the messy, complex reality of most people's lives. You might feel it in the workplace, if you're still employed, sensing that opportunities are drying up or that your experience is valued less than younger colleagues' perceived potential. Even in everyday situations, you might encounter impatience, someone sighing behind you in line, or feeling rushed when you need a little more time. It can feel like the world is moving at a pace that no longer makes space for you, or that your contributions are no longer considered as valuable. This can be incredibly disheartening. You have decades of experience, wisdom gained through trials and triumphs, a unique perspective shaped by living through significant historical periods and personal milestones. To feel that this rich tapestry of life is being disregarded is, frankly, insulting and painful. The harshness of this truth lies in the fact that it's external. While you can work on your own mindset and physical health, you can't control how others think or behave. And internalizing these societal messages can be damaging, leading to self-doubt, decreased confidence, and even withdrawing from social situations or activities where you fear you won't be fully accepted or respected. You might start to believe the stereotypes yourself, that you're too old to learn something new, too old to contribute, too old to matter as much. But facing this truth is vital because it allows you to recognize these external pressures for what they are, often misguided biases rooted in fear or lack of understanding. It empowers you to not internalize them. Your value does not decrease with the number of years you've lived. In fact, it increases. Your experience is a resource. Your resilience is a testament to your strength. And your perspective is unique and valuable. Combating this isn't always easy, but it starts with you. It means refusing to accept limitations placed on you by others' assumptions. It means continuing to engage with the world, staying curious, learning new things, participating in discussions, and sharing your stories. Your voice matters. Your experiences matter. Don't let anyone make you feel otherwise. It might involve gently correcting assumptions or demonstrating your capabilities. Sometimes, simply living your life fully, pursuing your interests, and contributing in ways that are meaningful to you is the most powerful response to ageism. It shows, by example, that aging is not a decline into irrelevance, but a continuation of growth and engagement. Finding communities where you are valued and respected is also crucial. These could be groups based on hobbies, volunteering, or advocacy. Being around people who appreciate your experience and treat you with dignity reinforces your self-worth and provides a buffer against negative external messages. This truth reminds us that while we can't stop the clock, we can absolutely challenge the narrative around aging. We can be advocates for ourselves and for other older adults, pushing back against stereotypes and demanding to be seen and heard. It's about owning your age with pride and confidence, and refusing to let external perceptions diminish your spirit or your sense of purpose. This brings us to the next challenging reality, one that often emerges as we transition out of primary life roles like full-time work or active parenting. This is the truth about redefining your identity, and how confronting the question, "Who am I now?" can be surprisingly difficult. For so many decades, your identity might have been strongly tied to your career, your role as a parent nurturing children, or perhaps caring for aging parents yourself. These roles provided structure, purpose, social connection, and a clear sense of who you were and what you did. Then comes retirement, or your children are fully grown and have their own lives, and suddenly, those defining roles are gone or significantly diminished. The daily routine that revolved around work or family demands disappears, leaving a void that can feel unsettling, even disorienting. If your entire sense of self was wrapped up in being a successful professional or a devoted caregiver, who are you when those labels no longer apply in the same way? This transition can bring a surprising sense of loss, not just of the activity itself, but of the identity associated with it. You might feel a lack of purpose, a feeling of being adrift without the structure and goals that work or parenting provided. The question, "What do I do now?" isn't just about filling time. It's about finding meaning and relevance in this new phase of life. This is a harsh truth, because society doesn't always prepare us for this existential shift. We plan financially for retirement, but we often don't plan psychologically for the identity changes it brings. There might be a feeling of being invisible or less important, because you're no longer in the hustle and bustle of the working world or the daily intensity of raising a family. The validation that came from professional achievements or your children's successes might diminish, and you have to find new sources of validation and self-worth. This process of redefining yourself can feel like starting over in a way, figuring out who you are when the external markers of identity have shifted. However, just like the other truths, acknowledging this challenge opens up incredible possibilities. This phase of life, free from many of the obligations and pressures of earlier years, presents a unique opportunity for self-discovery and reinvention. It's a chance to explore aspects of yourself that were perhaps dormant while you were busy with other responsibilities. Redefining your identity is about shifting the focus inward and forward. It's asking yourself, what truly brings me joy? What have I always wanted to learn or do? What kind of person do I want to be in this chapter? It's about building an identity based on your passions, your values, and your interests, rather than solely on your roles. This might involve pursuing hobbies you never had time for, like painting, writing, gardening, or playing a musical instrument. It could mean learning a new skill, whether it's a language, coding, or woodworking. Volunteering is a powerful way to find new purpose and connection. Contributing to something larger than yourself and using your skills and experience in valuable ways. Many organizations desperately need the wisdom and reliability that older volunteers offer. It's also a time to focus on relationships in a different way, deepening connections with your partner, spending quality time with friends and grandchildren, or building new friendships based on shared interests. Your identity can also be found in your legacy, mentoring younger people, sharing your stories and wisdom, or documenting your family history. Embracing this truth means letting go of the old definitions and being open to discovering new facets of yourself. It requires courage to step into the unknown and create a new sense of purpose. It might involve trying several things before finding what truly resonates. It's not about replacing your old identity with something identical, but about evolving into a new, perhaps richer and more authentic version of yourself. One defined by who you are becoming, not just who you once were. This transition, while challenging, ultimately offers immense freedom to live a life more aligned with your true self. This leads us to the final challenging truth we're going to discuss today, and perhaps one of the most profound. It's about the perception of time. And how, as you get older, it often feels like it speeds up. Years that once stretched out like long, lazy summers now seem to flash by in the blink of an eye. You celebrate a birthday, and before you know it, the next one is just around the corner. Events that feel like they happened just yesterday were actually decades ago. This speeding up of time can be a harsh truth because it forces a confrontation with the finite nature of life. The future, which once seemed like an endless expanse of possibilities, begins to feel shorter. This realization can bring a sense of urgency, a feeling that if you're going to do something, you need to do it now. But it can also bring anxiety or a feeling of running out of time. You might look back and feel regret for things you didn't do, or feel pressure to cram everything in before it's too late. For some, this perception of time speeding up might also bring a heightened awareness of mortality, a topic that's often pushed aside in younger years. While death is a reality at any age, as you get older, you see more and more of your peers passing away, and the abstract concept becomes a more concrete reality. This can be unsettling, even frightening. It's a truth that sits quietly in the background, sometimes pushing its way to the forefront of your thoughts. This truth is harsh because it reminds us of our own impermanence and the preciousness of the time we have left. It can highlight unfinished business, unspoken words, or dreams deferred. The feeling of time accelerating can make it harder to feel present, as you're constantly aware of the next milestone rushing towards you. But here, in this potentially daunting truth, lies a tremendous opportunity for profound peace and intentional living. The awareness of time's speed isn't a sentence. It's an invitation to live more fully in the present moment. When you truly grasp that time is a precious, non-renewable resource, you can become more deliberate about how you spend it and who you spend it with. This truth encourages you to prioritize experiences over possessions. The things you'll remember and cherish most aren't the objects you owned, but the moments you lived, shared laughter, meaningful conversations, beautiful sunsets, acts of kindness, personal achievements, even small everyday joys. Understanding that time is limited can motivate you to say yes to opportunities for connection and adventure, to mend relationships, and to express your love and gratitude to the people who matter most. It also allows for a different kind of acceptance. You can't slow time down, but you can change your relationship with it. Instead of feeling panicked by its speed, you can cultivate mindfulness, intentionally paying attention to the present moment, savoring the details of your day, the taste of your food, the feeling of the sun on your skin, the sound of a loved one's voice. This practice can make time feel richer, fuller, and less like it's slipping through your fingers. Facing the truth of mortality isn't about dwelling on death, but about being reminded to live. It can clarify your priorities and strip away the superficial concerns that might have occupied your mind in earlier years. It can bring a sense of freedom to focus on what truly matters and let go of the rest. It can also be a catalyst for finding peace with your life's journey, acknowledging your accomplishments and imperfections with compassion. The surprising part I mentioned at the beginning, it's this. While these 5 truths about getting older, loss and loneliness, physical changes, societal ageism, redefining identity, and the acceleration of time can indeed be harsh and challenging, facing them head-on is not about becoming resigned or depressed. It's actually the path to incredible freedom, resilience, and a deeper capacity for joy. These truths, often unspoken, are shared human experiences. You are not alone in navigating them. By acknowledging them, we strip them of some of their power to ambush and overwhelm us. We can prepare, adapt, and find strength we didn't know we had. Getting older isn't just about loss. It's also about accumulating a wealth of experience, wisdom, and perspective that younger generations can only dream of. It's about having the time and the self-knowledge to pursue what truly fulfills you. It's about shedding the need to constantly prove yourself and finding contentment in simply being. Yes, there are challenges, significant ones, but there is also immense beauty, freedom, and potential in this stage of life. The resilience you've built over decades is your superpower now. The capacity for love and connection deepens. The ability to appreciate the small moments grows. Remember, small shifts in how you view these realities can make a profound difference in how you experience them. Acceptance isn't giving up. It's gaining the power to move forward with clarity and grace. Adaptation isn't settling. It's creative problem-solving that opens up new possibilities. I hope talking about these truths has been helpful. Maybe even a little freeing. It's important that we can discuss the full spectrum of aging, the beautiful parts and the difficult ones. Your experiences navigating these challenges are valuable. Please, share your thoughts, your own harsh truths, or how you found strength and joy in this phase of life. In the comments below, your perspective could help someone else who is feeling alone in their struggle. If you found this video helpful or thought-provoking, please give it a thumbs up. It helps others find this conversation. And consider subscribing to the channel if you'd like more discussions like this, exploring the realities of aging with honesty and hope. Thank you for watching and for being a part of this community. Remember, you're not just getting older, you're evolving, deepening, and continuing to live a valuable, meaningful life. Live your best life at every age.